Hello, good morning and welcome back to the Fish Locker out on the boat. You can see that the sun is just coming up there behind me. We have a fine day. We have a fine day ahead of us. We've had quite a lot of swell the past few days. It's just dying off. I don't know if you can just see we've got the last of it. And I'm hoping to go and do a bit of mixed fishing. Maybe a bit of low fishing on a reef, and then when it calms down a little bit, when the tide sorts itself out, I might go and try and anchor up, see what we can find. That's the plan. I don't know where all the bait fish is because I haven't been out at sea for a few days, so I'm going to steam around for a little bit, see if I can't find some bait, and then we'll do what we do best. Try and catch some fish. Let's go! Finally found something. Well, it took me a little while, but I found one in the end. There you are. See the lure in the corner of its mouth? He's been in the wars, this guy. He's got a couple of battle scars on him. A few scars here and a few scars up his face. A lot of lice on his head. Yep. A nice little reef pollock. Well, it's good to finally get a fish. This wind's starting to be really frustrating. It keeps changing its mind what it wants to do. I might stick a drogue out actually. But that was just on a storm Biscay minnow. Finally, some mackerel. I'm happy with that. Not only have I managed to find a couple of live baits, but also a little bit of bait to put on the bottom when I anchor up. After there's been a bit of bad weather, everything changes. The fish move around, the water clarity changes, the water temperature changes. The water temperature now is 13.1 degrees. 2 weeks ago it was 18 degrees. So everything changes. So a day like today, which is more like a recce day, just going round and investigating to see what's going on where. You might find a few fish, but generally a day like today is just trying to re-establish what's going on. Might try a bigger white one. I'm having to use heavier lures because the tide's still quite strong and I'm in deeper water here. The lures that I was using at the start were 12 centimetre and 30 gram. These are 14 centimetre and 40 gram. So a little bit extra weight. Fishing these lures really close to the bottom. This feels like a wrasse. lovely looking male cuckoo wrasse. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Well, there's a little pollock on the feathers. That there, that is a nice sized pollock. Now, I am going to take this one home for the table. I'll get him put in that live bait tank. The area of reef where I was fishing, all of my live baits just keep getting smashed by cuttlefish. You get like a knock and then it just gets heavy like that, and as you're winding up it comes off. When you come up, half your live bait's missing. So I've come to a different area in the hope that I might possibly get away from the cuttlefish. Now we still have quite decent tides, so I can only really fish on this area of reef just around slack water. Otherwise there's just like 3 knots of tide running through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish around for another 15 minutes, and then I'm going to go and try and put the anchor down. But a nice fish out of it. I'm happy with that. This feels more like a wrasse. That's because it is. Felt like a wrasse because it was a wrasse. They are terrible for doing that. They must sense when you relax. Just as soon as you hold them up for the camera there like that. Take it easy, take it easy. That is a cracking balen wrasse. It's got some stunning colours on, aren't they? They aren't easy fish to hold on to. Every one of those spikes on the top of its dorsal, that'll have you. Let's get it back in water. Oh, he's had me. There, look. Yeah, he had me. Biscay minnow in Ghost. I found a little bit of sheltered area and I've put the anchor down. Now we have got a little bit of mixed ground. It's like right at the edge of a reef as it meets some sand. Now all I'm going to be doing, I've already got one rod out. I'm just going to show you the rigs. Now it's just my light gear, just my spinning setup. This is an Abu Veritas with a Clash 2 4000, and that is a little, I think it's a 7 to 24 gram lure rod with Clash 3000. All I'm doing is I've just got a little locked in lead, just like a bolt rig, but in sea fishing. So straight onto my main line, a locked in lead, and I'm just using, here's one I made earlier. This is what, 2 feet of 30-pound mono on a little barrel link with a 3/0 specimen extra, and I've just filleted off one of the little mackerel just put a couple of little strips on, just like that. Reason being is because there's an awful lot of small bait fish in the water. No point putting a big bait out when everything's used to eating small things. So that, hopefully, will find us something. A bass, a ray, a gurnard, anything like that. Probably going to find some dogfish today. I imagine that we're going to have a bit of a bycatch of dogfish. But a session wouldn't be the same without at least one dogfish. All I've got now is I have wind and tide together, so both wind and tide are going in that direction. Hopefully that should mean I'll sit steady on my anchor. With the baits at the back, all I do is I just cast them out to cover a bit of ground. We are getting our first little bit of interest. I was just busy setting everything up. I've got my baits out. What I like to do is I make up a couple of 3 spare hook lengths. And all I do is I just have them ready. I cut all my bait. I make some traces and then I pre-bait probably 2 or 3 traces. That way, if you ever bring a fish in, you just unclip the trace, put it in a water barrel, clip on a pre-baited trace and cast straight out. Saves you loads of time messing about when you've got a fish flapping about, and it maximises the amount of time you have a bait in the water. Because if you haven't got a bait in the water, you're not going to catch a fish. And there was always spare time, isn't there? It's like now when I've casted these 2 baits out, I've got 5 minutes, sort everything out. Saves you loads of time. That does look like a dogfish bite. Just as suspected. A dogfish. This is a lesser spotted cat shark, commonly called a dogfish. They can be a bit of a nuisance. When you're unhooking them, what they have got, when you get hold of them like that, they bring their tail up and their skin is very abrasive. So what they do is they bring their tail round and rub you with it, and it scuffs all your hands up. So the best thing to do is get hold of its tail, get hold of its head in the same hand, and then unhook it. Just like that. They are messy. They have a terrible habit of pooping or spewing all over the boat, which is just what that one did. So from now on I'll be unhooking them over the side of the boat. And another dogfish. I was hoping when it hooked over like that it was going to be a ray. It just feels like another doggy now. Another dogfish. Now, those dogfish there have come on almost instantly. I ain't gonna stay here and just catch dogfish. It's not sending good bait down there just to catch doggies. What I will do is I will tidy myself up, get some more hook lengths pre-baited, and I'll go and move us to a different spot. Keep that bait fishing while we're doing it. Yeah, I'm going to move somewhere else away from the dogfish. I'm anchored up in my new spot. Hopefully this is a dogfish free zone, and I've got a bite straight away on this rod. I've just got my rods out. That feels a bit better. That feels like a good ray. I'm fishing on sand. Now these rays, they will try and bury themselves into the sand and they like suction cup to the bottom. Now you don't need to go crazy with them. I mean, you can see here, look, I've got the rod properly bent into the fish. Now that's constantly putting pressure on that fish. You don't need to go mental and try and drag them out the seabed. It will tire and it will move up. You just need to hold pressure on it. No, it wanted to be back down on the seabed, didn't it? Now they will use the tide. They'll open the wings out and they'll hold out in the tide. So an okay fish can feel like a massive fish. There you go. Now that is a good one. That is a good solid fish. It's a female. It almost, this is a small-eyed ray, but it almost looks like it's got a little bit of blonde ray in it, and it is a good one. See if I can show you. There's the hook in its mouth. Come on. There you are. What a beauty. I'll get it sat down there in that barrel of water and let it recover. We'll get a photo of it and get a weight on it as well, because that is a big one. You see, just held pressure on it. I didn't go mad, just took me time. What I have done is I have put a camera down on the seabed, just to try and give you some type of a view of what's going on down there. Now, unfortunately, the clarity doesn't look like it's fantastic. If there's anything on the footage, if you can see anything, I'll put it in here now. I think I've found another one. Now rays, they aren't really known for their fighting ability, but when you're fishing light like this, they can be a lot of fun. And there's another. Oh, another cracking small-eyed ray. I'll show you real quick before the camera dies. And there's the hook in its mouth. When it comes to weighing bigger fish, I have made myself a net bag. Now all it is, it's just got a drawstring on the top, and I use it for weighing the bigger fish. Mainly because, like, your weighing scales usually come with like a little hook on it. If you're going to be releasing fish, weighing like a 10 pound plus fish on that little hook in its mouth isn't going to do it any favours. I mean, if you're taking a fish home for the table and you've already dispatched it, it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to release those rays, and yeah, let's just say it doesn't do them any favours weighing them by their mouth. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them in this net sack. So I will, specimen weight for a small-eyed ray in my area is 9 pound 8 ounces. Also, picking rays up, they aren't the easiest things to handle, and although they haven't got massive teeth, that little protruding mouth, you see there how it sticks out a little bit? If it gets hold of your fingers there, it will make a mess of them. Now they do have like a softer area here near their eyes. Don't put your fingers inside of its gill holes, because you'll hurt it, you'll damage its gills. But there are little soft squishy areas just here and here for you to be able to hold them. Yeah, between 11.3 and 11.8. Let's get it released. Right, let's get this one released. You can see there, you see its gills? That's how it breathes. That's why you should never put your fingers in there. Its eyes are stunning, aren't they? You can see it's breathing. Straight down under the boat. I've been keeping these rays in a pail of water. It gives them a chance to relax, gives them a chance to have a bit of air while I'm sorting myself out. Now, you can tell when a ray is getting stressed out because the edges of its wings go pink. Sometimes when you've brought them in and they've had quite a long fight, you'll see that the edges of the wings are going pink. And yet, just by keeping them in a pail of water for a bit, like this, you can see they calm right down. See, the edges of the wings are fine. Now these are females, both of those rays were females. It'd be easier to tell you if it was a male, because males from here, they have two claspers. Well, most males have two things, but a female, generally they get bigger. That is a very nice one. 12.5, 11.11, 11.10, 11.11. We'll call it bang on 11 pound without the net. That's incredible. Two specimen double figure small-eyed rays. I think that's fantastic. Let's get her out of that sack, get it released. I don't think we're going to catch any more now. I can see that we're starting to swing around a little bit. We've come to the back of the tide. So what I'll do is I will fish these two baits out until I've released this ray, and then we will go for a gentle steam home. Whoa. See, the sun's shining through it. Gosh, she is a cracker. That is a fantastic small-eyed ray. There you go then. Just glide down under the boat. Well, there's another one. I just saw what I thought was like the tremor of a bite, and I think what it's done is it's picked it up from down tide and swum towards the boat. I just saw like tiniest little knock. The bend in the rod is fighting the fish. just sustained pressure. It's dislodged it out of the seabed and it's moving its way up now. See if we can angle you around a little tiny bit. Come on. Just saw it then and all. That's why this one was being so difficult, it's coming in backwards. There we go. There's another one. Another female. And to prove that this isn't one of the other ones that I've just put back, you can see the colorations, see the markings on its stomach. Right, just taking that hook a little bit deeper. I'm going to have to get my tweezers out. Just going to say, that bait was supposed to be down there, it's now up there. There you go. There you go, there's another one. Tell you what, I'm glad I put them baits back out. Well, that was crazy. Just stuck them two raggedy baits back out while I was sorting everything out. That's two more small-eyed rays. It's getting, neither one of those are bigger than that other one. Just get them unhooked and we'll get them put back. Good girl. And this one, I'm going to try a proper release off the back. Go on then, what are you going to do? There she goes. Perfect! I've tidied everything down now, we're going to get ready to start steaming back. That has been a fantastic session. Considering it was just supposed to be a bit of a recce to see what was going on, because I haven't been at sea for a while, we've had a great day. But a lovely eating sized pollock and 4 specimen small-eyed rays. Yeah, I'm really glad I stuck them 2 baits out. It just goes to show, doesn't it, at one last cast. I just thought, I'll just stick them 2 baits out while I tidy everything down. Yeah, 2 more fish. I hope the underwater camera has produced some decent footage. I won't know until I've got home to be able to check it. But hopefully that's given you some type of an idea of what is going on down on seabed. The tackle today was just very simple. It was mainly my low gear. The Clash reels, the Clash 2 reels, both 3000 and 4000, and 2 Abel rods. Rigs were very simple. They were just a 3/0 specimen extra, 30-pound mono with a little barrel swivel. Now this is one of the things to notice about rays, is they do have a rough skin. I don't know if you can see my fingers there. But worth it. I hope you've enjoyed joining me. All the very best. See you later.